So if you watched the Truck Series race earlier today, it was a battle between him and the 83 truck. Somebody done took out a cone there. As we take to the track and get ready to get this thing started. See the number 4 car there of Lurch. Looks like he is going to be leading us off in that P1 position behind the pace car there. As we get this thing underway. Can't believe it's the final race already. 13 weeks have flown by just like that. Felt like just yesterday we were getting started at Darlington, and man, everybody in the league needed work. That was, if you remember the race from Darlington, it was a mess. If you didn't watch it, be sure to go check out the YouTube channel and give it a view, because when you look at the most recent races, I would say from halfway from the season, race 6 or 7, things really started to shape up, and a lot of these guys started to really get their personalities out here and, get a feel for this racing thing and how it goes. We've got Matthew Corley joining us again tonight. Of course, the 83 there, sponsored by Working Man Outdoors. Rolling in the Chevy Camaro, having a little bit of a battle with the number 1 car there. Looks like it didn't last that long. He was able to get in on that inside and hook that turn. Looks like he's going to try to make a pass on a couple more cars here. A little bit of touch and go there. Getting into the turn. Let's jump back up to number 22 here. Looks like he's done bypassed and gotten into first place. Let me make sure I'm telling you correct here. Nope, I apologize. He is in second place right now, following closely on the heels of Lurch in the number 4 car as they come into the next turn. If you watched the truck race earlier, that was a battle all the way to the last lap between the 22 there and the 83. They just kept going at it. I think if I remember the stats correctly, the 83 he ran lead for about 6 laps, and the 22 there led for 15. So those last few laps, man, it was definitely a battle, and we had a caution towards the end of the race. I think there was only 3 laps to go, and the caution ate up a lap and a half of that, I would say. So when we went back green, there was roughly about a lap left to 2 laps, and there was a last-minute pass there, and then 22 overtook the 83 and got back out in front, and that was the race. It definitely was a really good race. Intense, for sure. We see them here making their way into the turn. Still trying to catch up to Lurch in the number 4 car, and looks like he's got some distance there. My apologies. Boy, I'm telling you, my ticker is all off here. I do believe he is now in the lead. The ticker just has not updated yet. Let's take a look here and jump to Lurch. No, Lurch is still in first place. Vogt is trailing behind him in the 22, trying to catch up. But he's got a nice cushion there. Kind of see about how much distance he's got there between them and the rest of the pack. As he rounds into the next turn, take a look at the left rear suspension. Looks like Vogt in the 22 is closing in on him there. Go back to the TV view here. With the closing of this race, the point standings currently show the 83 in the 200s range, Aaron Vogt in the 22 is in the 300s range. He's roughly, the last time I looked, he's in the 320s, I think. With that being said, there really isn't any need to wait on any type of official results. There's nothing to scratch our heads about. No matter what place he finishes in during tonight's race, he will have, in fact, sealed his fate as far as being the Palmetto State Cup Series championship for Season 1. He's got that in the bag. The way the point system works, each race, first place finishes awards 40 points. So the next runner-up behind him in points for this season is the 83 in the 200s range. So even if he was to pull off a win here in the 83 car tonight, it would only give him 40 more points, which would still have him about 60-ish points shy of Aaron Vogt's numbers. So Aaron Vogt has definitely won this one. He's got it in the bag. Matter of fact, I kind of want to point this out here for just a second. We're going to take you to the right rear suspension of the 22's car. You can see there, 2025 Gen 6 champion. That dude went ahead and threw that on the car, which, as I said, it's not really up for debate. He definitely, without question, has earned the right to have that on his car. He has fought hard all season long. It was a rough start for all of these guys in the beginning, and I think everybody really started to find their groove for the most part about mid-season. And so, I want to say he's sitting at 6 wins. Kind of got a little loose there in that turn, but looks like he's recovering pretty well. But yeah, back to the stats there. He's got about 5 or 6 wins underneath his belt in this season. So, and the rest of the races weren't bad finishes either. So he definitely fought hard this season and did what was necessary to be able to wear that trophy on the side of his car with confidence. Meanwhile, the 83 here, he's cruising around the track and still sporting the Lizard. So I'll take a moment to honor the Lizard there. Any of you are a fan of the TikTok trend. Some of you are probably sick of it by now. Doesn't matter. Lizard's here to stay, man. Lizard is truth. So as we move into this, we are halfway done with this race now already. Surprisingly, there have been no cautions. I think in the truck series earlier today, I believe we had 2 or 3 cautions. Nothing major. Surprisingly, with these short tracks, you tend to get plenty of more wrecks, especially a lot of times they happen when the cautions come out, because these tracks are so small. You get that accordion effect. Everybody's pumping the brakes and speeding up to try to find their place where they should be lined up in the caution formation, and a lot of times it ends up creating that accordion effect, or the slinky effect as some call it. And a lot of times you'll see somebody bump into the back bumper of the person in front of them, or person behind them rear ends them, because everybody's getting jumbled up trying to figure out what position they need to be in. They got their spotters in their ear telling them, pass that car, pass this car, and sometimes it can get a little confusing. So short tracks tend to have that chaos, and we're here for it. Chaos is a good thing sometimes, right? As you see, he is in third position right now with about a 10-second gap behind him and the leader. See sparks flying there as he entered that turn. There's just barely enough clearance on the bottom of those cars to cleanly navigate those turns without stuff catching, slight catching, but nothing major. There have been many a sparks flying tonight during this race. There's some more right there. We didn't see that too much with the trucks. I think the trucks, the way their body work is, I believe there's enough clearance there that when they dip down in them turns, it's not really catching. But clearly, this is not your typical track setup for these Gen 6 cars with the amount of horsepower that they have. But as you're seeing in this race tonight, it can be done. A little bit of discipline and control. Self-control is the biggest thing there. Not getting too ahead of yourself when trying to pass people, and keeping that line all plays a big role in these short tracks. It's real easy to wind up spinning out or losing control really quickly, and before you know it, you're into the wall. We got the 83 here. He is waiting on our ticker. He is in 15th position. That is the position he started in from qualifying, so maybe in 16th now after that pass there by the red car. I'm sorry, I kind of lost the number in place of the turn there. Oh, a little bit of bumping going on there between the 83 and the 71, but everybody recovered nicely. Just 10 laps to go in this race before we conclude the last race in Season 1 for Palmetto Racing League. And it will be on to Season 2. And, man, I'm hearing the talk. The guys are excited. There's, the changes and a very, very, very lengthy schedule with 57 races, so 57 weeks of action. They are actively looking for sponsors, so if you or someone you know has a business and they would love to sponsor a race or sponsor the whole season, especially with Maconey Entertainment taking the reins on that, they would have a very wide range of viewership there, plenty of eyes to see your product and advertise, and for a decent price as well. 57 weeks, just over a year, one solid price on a top tier package of sponsorship. It definitely could be an opportunity, especially for some of these small businesses that are just getting started up and really want to get their name out there. Great, excellent way to do that. We're going to jump back up here with the number 22 of Aaron Vogt. We are 6 laps to go, and he is now in 6th position, so he's fell back a couple of places here, but he's still holding steady in the top 10. We're down to 5 to go now. This one is literally minutes within being over. Fingers crossed, long as no cautions happen. Caution laps do not count in this race, so we would have the caution and the laps would resume once the caution was over. I don't think that's going to be necessary, though. It looks like we're going to have a pretty solid finish here. I don't want to speak too soon because anything can happen. Like, got a little bit. Oh, speak of the devil, some contact right there, and that is definitely going to trigger a caution. See, I got this bad habit of talking things up, man. That is definitely going to trigger a caution. The 83 went into the wall there. Had some lock up on the bumper action going on there. And we are, in fact, under caution. We're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to do our sponsor shout out for the last time. So we will be back with you momentarily. Today's sponsor spotlight is for Working Man Outdoors. Real experiences, real results, real affordable. They're not here to sell you a fantasy, they're here to give you the real deal. Working Man Outdoors brings working class outdoor adventures to your level and your budget. Experience duck hunts with all the thrills, none of the fluff. Located in southwest Louisiana, give them a call today and book your hunt. 843-919-0405. Working Man Outdoors, where hard work meets wild reward. And we are back. I was talking about that accordion effect earlier. It's kind of what we got going on right now. Everybody is trying to figure out their position here, as you can see, to get started up for the green flag. There's a certain order, whatever place or position you were in when the caution came out is the place that you have to jump back up to and follow out, starting out single file. And just before we go green, they'll branch off and go back into double file, with some on the inside, some on the outside. And then that following lap, the pace car comes off and we go back to being green, which I do believe this was a single file restart, so there was not a double file restart on that one. And I do believe that was part of that white checkered restart. Says, let's see, 22 has now dropped to 7th position. We are just down to 2 laps to go in this one. Let's check on the 83 there, making his way into the pits. It's safe to say he will not be back out in time for the conclusion of this race. White flag is out now, so we are on the last lap here. And is he gonna hold on to it? No, the 8 is trying to make his advance on the 22 there and take that 7th position lead. And there's the checkered flag. Aaron Vogt finishes this one in 8th place. Not bad for the last race. I'm sure the 83 wishes he had a better outcome, but it's like that sometimes. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your Season 1 Palmetto State Cup Series champion right there, Aaron Vogt in the 22. I know what you're all thinking. Normally the donuts are reserved for the race winner. It looks like the race winner passed up on this opportunity, and Aaron here, he's getting those donuts in simply for taking this series championship home in the bag. Yeah, go ahead, 22.
I look forward to season 2 coming up December 13th. Thank you guys again so much.
I'm not. You hear him pretty loud and clear, but got a little confusing there with some of the cars passing by. But basically, he was thanking Palmetto Racing League for the opportunity to be able to race in all of these events and take part in the league events, and thanking everybody for a great season, all the crew and members. Just a real humble guy. But that is your 2025 Season 1 champion, Aaron Vogt in the number 22 Chevrolet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight. I have thoroughly enjoyed providing commentary for all of you during all of these races. It has really been a pleasure. We thank you for joining us here. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned before, this is our last stream, as McConey Entertainment will be taking over for Season 2. That's not to say that you won't hear my voice on some other things, because we do have some other stuff in the work. But as far as the calling the shots and the racing action, McConey Entertainment is going to have that pleasure during Season 2. And if you haven't already, be sure to look them up on Facebook. They do have a Facebook page. They have a website. It is McConey Entertainment. Not to be confused with McConey Setup Shop. That is still them, but it's a whole different operation. If you want to keep up with videos and the races that will be posted, we're going to share them on the Facebook page as well. But if you want to be a step ahead of that and be notified every time they go live during our events, the races will be happening every Saturday from here on out, starting on September 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So every Saturday, 7 p.m. If you, like I said, if you want a heads up on when they go live and the races are fixing to start, because I do believe they kind of advertise before the race on what time they're starting. They have a schedule up. Go and like their Facebook page, McConey Entertainment, and check out their website and also their YouTube channel. They also have a YouTube channel. It's under the same name, McConey Entertainment. They will be taking over for all of your race coverage as it's happening. So after that, I want to wish you all a good evening and hope everybody has a safe holiday weekend.